Dynamic TPMS Solutions welcomes you to our TPMS training series. This is Module 5 of the series, TPMS Service Parts, Part 1, Valve Stems and Service Kits. In this module, we will cover TPMS valve stems and their hardware components for both the metal clamp-in and the rubber snap-in type. We'll discuss the wear conditions that would require replacement of the valve stem or its individual components. We'll also look at TPMS service kits and TPMS replacement valve kits. TPMS-equipped vehicles have various components that are subject to wear and may require service. These components include the valve stem and valve stem component hardware. When servicing tires and wheels on a TPMS-equipped vehicle, the industry recommendation is the TPMS valve stem or the valve stem components be replaced every time a tire is serviced. This includes a new tire purchase or any service where the tire is removed from the rim. The components that need to be replaced for metal clamp-in valve stems include the rubber grommet, aluminum hex nut, the nickel-plated valve core, and the plastic valve cap. Some applications may also require a metal washer. Here are common wear conditions that develop due to exposure to harsh weather and road conditions. The rubber grommet can dry out and crack over time, creating a leak path at the valve stem. The coating on the aluminum hex nut can wear off and result in thread corrosion. This can cause the hex nut to seize to the metal stem, making the valve stem impossible to remove without damaging the sensor. Corrosion is also possible where the nickel plating wears off of the internal valve core. The corrosion can make it impossible to remove the core from the metal valve stem. In some cases, the valve core stops working, making it impossible to add air to the tire. The valve cap is designed with a special seal that keeps moisture out of the stem and away from the valve core. A defective or missing valve cap can lead to corrosion of the valve core. Rubber snap-in valve components include the rubber stem, valve core, valve cap, and torque screw or nut used to attach the valve to the sensor. Heat and ozone exposure can cause the rubber stem to become brittle and crack. Over time, these cracks can progress and result in leaks and loss of tire pressure. All of these valve components are available in pre-packaged TPMS service kits. TPMS service kits contain the 4 or 5 parts needed to service any worn component of a metal clamp-in valve. They are available for both one-piece and two-piece sensors. Currently, there are 18 different TPMS service kits that cover all of the different sensor applications that utilize a metal clamp-in valve. In many cases, with two-piece sensors, the entire valve needs to be replaced, not just the component parts. In this case, TPMS replacement valve kits are available for both metal clamp-in valves and rubber snap-in valves. Replacement valve kits for metal clamp-in valves contain the metal valve stem, the TPMS service kit components for that particular valve stem, and, if required, the torque screw or nut used to attach the valve to the sensor. Replacement valve kits for rubber snap-in valves include the rubber valve stem, valve core, valve cap, plus the torque screw or nut used to attach the valve to the sensor. There are over 20 different TPMS replacement valve kits pre-packaged with all of the required components. Although many of the TPMS service kits look the same and share some common components, there are important differences. Always reference the TPMS service parts application catalog to select the correct kit or valve for the make, model, and year of the vehicle being serviced. Let's review Module 5. We started by noting the industry recommendation that the TPMS valve stem or the valve stem components be replaced every time a tire is serviced. We looked at all the hardware components of the metal clamp-in valve and the wear conditions that would require replacement. Then we looked at the hardware components for the rubber snap-in valve and those wear conditions. We covered the contents of TPMS service kits for metal valves and the contents of TPMS replacement valve kits for both metal and rubber valves. And finally, the importance of using the TPMS service parts application catalog to be sure of selecting the correct kit. Thank you for watching Module 5 of Dynamic TPMS Solutions Training Series.